Hi, this is Felipe Osorio. Welcome to the first episode of Second Earth Alternative, a brand new show intent on breaking the latest alternative stories purposely averted by the mainstream media. I really wanted to break open this first episode by asking, are UFOs real? And if so, are we on the brink of worldwide disclosure? Given the massive amounts of evidence that has been unveiled in the last few decades, I'm inclined to believe that there has to be some kind of higher intelligence controlling crafts here on Earth right now in ways that seem to defy common physics. Some skeptics will argue that most of the evidence does not meet the standard of scientific validity. First of all, that's not entirely true, as there are many incidences, such as the Rendlesham Forest, that has multiple collaborating evidences, including radar, military eyewitnesses, and physical traces that do go beyond the necessities of scientific scrutiny. But aside from those cases, if we're to presume that the witnessed UFOs are extraterrestrial in nature, by deduction alone it stands that they are likely just as smart or smarter than us. If DETs happen to want to be stealthy or are forced by some governing law to be stealthy, and if they can be assumed to be smarter than us, how can we presume that we would be able to easily give foolproof scientific evidence? Just by the mere nature that we're attempting to study something that is elusive and possibly smarter implies that foolproof scientific evidence is not the best tool to get to a closer understanding of the truth. Because given the very probable scenario that the ETs might want to hide themselves, foolproof may never happen as some skeptics demand. Sometimes a shooting star that just instantly changes direction is the best you're going to get. But in thousands, meaning with thousands of circumstantial evidence that seems to collaborate with one another, an undeniable case can be made. There is a higher intelligence that is not recognized by our government that is governing our skies and our atmosphere and nearby space. The simple laws of inertia would imply that these crafts cannot change directions so rapidly as they are being reported, without effectively squishing the pilots like a pancake, meaning these UFOs also seem to be utilizing technology that goes beyond our common understanding of physics. I think it's important to clear this pink elephant in the room. Outside of other people's accounts, I have actually witnessed something that could not be understood with multiple other eyewitnesses. It was myself and two other friends. We witnessed this blue-green orb that just kind of hovered over the waters past the Golden Gate Bridge around 3:45 a.m. about, I would say 5 years ago. And this wasn't some star. I mean, this object was like nearly half the size of the moon from our perspective, and after hovering for 4 to 5 seconds, this blue-green orb shot down into the water way faster than gravity itself could allow. And I mean, it's like, shoo, like straight into the ocean. And I'm never going to forget this moment because it was like this very unfamiliar pause that occurred for 10 seconds just after the event. It was something I'd never experienced. And it was just silence, like nobody said anything, as if we were all in shock or in some kind of processing mode. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, after like 10, 15 seconds, we just started blasting each other like, what the hell? Like, what was that?
Look at that! Those are aliens coming down here, y'all. Look at it's coming down the same direction. Oh, it's breaking up. Oh, it's 6, it's 8, it's 9. Oh shit. Oh shit, look at that. Oh, look at that, they stop. Look at that shit. Those are aliens.
Sorry, I'm trying to record it.
Aliens. Aliens.
Oh, they cut the lights off.
Aliens.
Oh, they cut the lights
Y'all
off.
need to be shooting that. Y'all need to be shooting this shit right here.
And they just cruise.
They looking at us. They dividing. They dividing up. We getting invaded. Those are not fun. Look at that shit. They are sitting. Y'all need to be calling damn news.
By this time, I feel like I have already scared some people off. Okay, if you don't trust me, who could you trust on this issue? Could you trust the astronauts? The heroes who not only have extensive aviation training, but are also certified witnesses of space. Would they constitute as a reliable source? If so, I would like you to know that Buzz Aldrin, the second man to walk on the moon, has stated on national television that he has seen UFOs in space. Not just that, he even mentions that a long-lost monolithic artifact stands on the Mars moon Phobos. Here, listen.
I saw this illumination that was moving with respect to the stars. We were smart enough to not say, Houston, there's a light out there that's following us. So technically, it becomes an unidentified flying object.
While Neil and Buzz were on the lunar surface, Neil switched to the medical channel and spoke directly with the chief medical officer, saying, they're here, they're parked on the side of the crater, they're watching us.
Go boldly where man has not gone before. Fly by the comets, visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars. There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there? Who put that there?
Gordon Cooper, Dr. Brian O'Leary, and Edgar Mitchell have all testified to the existence of UFOs, and they're all astronauts. Here, take a look.
In the intelligence community, over the years, wanting to get it off their chest before they passed away, allowed me to interview them and talk to them about it. And so my ideas became fairly well solidified in the fact we've been visited.
Well, these objects kept coming over flying the same kind of formation that we fly in our fighters.
Where were you flying?
We were flying in Germany, and we were flying F-86s. And they would come over and do the same maneuvers that we make, except every once in a while one of them would go zip. And you just can't do that in a fighter.
Another compelling piece of evidence that is very difficult to dismiss occurred during one of the biggest UFO mass sightings in U.S. history. I'm talking about the 1997 Phoenix Lights incident. For those who don't remember, thousands of witnesses saw this giant, and I'm talking mile-sized unidentified craft that hovered silently over the homes of thousands of residents in the Phoenix area. The incident sparked so much national scrutiny that the governor of Arizona at the time, Fife Symington, went on national television to deliver a press conference on this matter.
The mystery had been solved.
And now I'll ask Officer Stein and his colleagues to escort the accused into the room so that we may all look upon the guilty party. Don't get him too close to me, please.
In the alien costume, the governor's chief of staff.
Now, this just goes to show that you guys are entirely too serious.
It wasn't what he said in the interview that was so unbelievable. It was what he said years later that you're not going to believe.
And I suspect that unless the Defense Department proves us otherwise, that it was probably some form of an alien spacecraft. It just felt otherworldly. You know, in your gut, you could just tell that it was otherworldly.
To sum up this episode, if I were to use Occam's razor, as so many skeptics do, to effectively paint an argument, I would ask, what is the simplest explanation? That 4 highly trained astronauts and a former governor would all simultaneously lie about witnessing UFOs in the face of public scrutiny? Or that they simply are telling the truth? Because this was my first episode, I encourage everybody who enjoyed watching this show to share this to your friends or loved ones. Let's try to make these tens of views into thousands of views so that I may be able to continue this show. I have some exciting new episodes coming out in the next few days, so tune back in. I'm telling you, some of these episodes are going to have original discoveries. It's not something you're going to want to miss. This is Felipe Osorio, signing out.